Welcome to the Standpoint. I'm sure you know by now that our theme for 2018 is the woman on the move. Yes, we are on the move. One day at a time, one step at a time, we'll surely get there. There's nothing like satisfaction, fulfilled. You know, it's a process. Life is a process. One day we'll get there. You chalk success in one area, you move on to the next, and then you keep going. But what is the worth of the woman on the move if she is not healthy? How can she even move if she's not healthy? If she doesn't know her health status? Today we are going to talk about women's health and why you need to take it seriously. With all the fight, empowerment, we want our position, we want to do this and that. If we are not healthy, how can we get there? How can we even sustain this momentum if we are not healthy? My name remains Gifty, and welcome to the Standpoint once again. And let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth, my dress. It's by Ophelia Crossland Designs. We are so grateful to them. Makeup products by Paba Cosmetics and beautifully applied by Makeup and More. My hair is by Duffy's Hair. We take a break when we are coming. Woman, you need to be healthy. You need to take your health seriously. We'll be back. Hello, and welcome back to the Standpoint, where today we are looking at women's health and why it's important for us as women to take our health seriously and make sure we go for checkups and, you know, the little signs to look out for. Well, let me say thank you to Walmart Africa who sponsor us. They produce Frytol cooking oil. Very good, very healthy, but you make sure you know you don't overuse it. Yes, even we, the Fanties, these days, we manage the oil. So please, be careful. They also produce Fortune rice, which comes in 3 types. The green package one, very good for the soft dishes, rice water and omotuo. Orange package one, excellent for wache. And then the wine package one, awesome for jollof rice and fried rice. We also say thank you to African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. This program is also aired on ABN TV, which is on Sky Channel 235 across Western Europe, parts of Canada and Asia. Our website, www.thestandpoint.com, is powered by Dream Oval. Follow us, The Standpoint, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. My guest today, the right people to discuss women's health at this time of the year. Seated right next to me is a man I'm sure whose name you know by now, thanks to me and my favorite coach. Ghanaians are peace-loving hypocrites. My mantra now. Well, next to me is Dr. Ebo Jehu-appiah, who is the country director for IPAS Ghana. Welcome back to the Standpoint, Uncle Ebo.
Thank you very much, Gifty. I thought you were changing my name.
No.
Okay.
I haven't changed your name.
I think I'm what you
more frequently.
Yo.
Amen. And then next to him is, I'm being nice. It's a new period. I'm a nice person. My sister from another mother, Sylvia-rita, who is a principal and health tutor. Welcome back to the Standpoint.
Thank you, Gifty.
Can I just add that you're also a women's health advocate?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back.
Thank you, my dear.
But maybe I should go to Sylvia first. Do you think we take our health seriously as women? Ghanaian women?
Let me put it this way. First and foremost, it's as if there's something about us as women who would always want to sacrifice for the good of our family. And gradually it's dawning on everybody to understand that if we are truly the glue that holds the family together, then it's about time we take a second look at our health. Globally, it's always said that women would always seek health early compared to men because they would want to be in charge, they want to protect their ego. But somehow, when women are not too well, they think that it is okay, I have to manage, I have so many responsibilities. So we sacrifice sometimes, but I think the trend is changing because, again, the concept of preventive health, where women are being encouraged to understand that, again, the reproductive health of women because of where our organs are, where God has hidden them, it's not so visible. But if a woman is very sensitive to her own body and is on top of issues, she's the first to detect that something is going wrong and will seek intervention from the appropriate quarters. The emphasis here is appropriate quarters because sometimes they go to the wrong place and they mess them up.
Sometimes they go to the wrong place and then they mess them up. Uncle Bo, I think we've had, and I think Sylvia too, we've had a lot of programs concerning women's health. Sure. We talked about what your outfit is concerned about women's reproductive health and rights. But when we are talking about women's health, what are some of the areas we need to look at?
First of all, I think we should define health. And health is being defined not only the absence of a disease, but the total well-being of the individual. So we are talking about the total well-being of this woman. You know, it's not only the absence of a disease. And as Sylvia started it, women's health, women and girls. Let me use women and girls because for where I'm coming from, I think it's important we talked about that. Because of the developmental stages of women, they detect certain things that Sylvia was referring to. You know, when those days when our mothers, we had their menarche, that's the first menses after the age of 15, 16, 17, 18. Now people are having it at 9, 10, 11. So it's important that we take that seriously. Because when you have had your menarche and the menses flow from then on, there are certain things that change in your body that we need to recognize, and we need to go to appropriate places to consult the appropriate people to give the proper counseling. Some few weeks ago, we were talking about health of women in Africa, in Ghana. Ghana hosted a KAMA conference, and we were talking about how women at that tender age, how girls at that 10 years are mutilated. Female genital mutilation. Luckily for Ghana now, it's going down, but it's still here, prevalence here. I know in some countries it's quite high. So it's important that we recognize that the organs that God gave was for a purpose. Why should a girl be born and that organ, that gives her satisfaction, that gives us a feeling that a human being is supposed to have, is mutilated because the women themselves think that if they do not touch it, men will not appreciate them. It turned out at the meeting that men do not think that way, but women themselves do that to themselves because they think that if they don't get it cut off, men will not appreciate them.
This is a different dimension because for a long time we've been arguing that it's rather the men who push the women to do that because they feel that it will make the women become loyal to them.
Yeah, not promiscuous. Research has been done. Look, I don't want us to go with the myths in society. Research has proven that, yes, of course, some men think that the woman wouldn't, when they have it off, the organ off, it means they will not be promiscuous, they will not have the same feeling. But these same men now turn around, marry these girls who have their clitoris cut and sleep with women who have theirs on. So it's been proven that it's not true.
It's not true.
Actually, those who push these girls into that our grandmothers, our mothers, and the old people in society. You know, I just want to bring it across that because when we are talking about the health of the woman, I want to start with that. And this idea of masculinity, it becomes so toxic that there's now a new term called toxic masculinity. We have been so socialized to think that men have control over women's bodies. And we have to dispel that myth, that men have no control. The woman has a right to her own body. Man has no right to any part of a woman's body. It's when you agree that you come into union, then of course you share your bodies. But when you are born as a lady, you have control of everything. And that's where the health issue starts from. Because when the woman has had a menarche, most women do not even know when they have menses. Because we fail to educate them. We fail to even teach them. Sometimes people say, oh, parents should have taught them. I said, who told the parents to know anything? Because the parents had to know, because they had gone through that without knowing, and the girl would go through that. We think that parents should teach them. There's a gradual change in Ghana that they are now going to add it back to social studies, even at the tender ages, so that we teach comprehensive sexuality education to children, so they know their bodies and know their body functions. So if something doesn't function well, then of course it raises alarm for this young person to seek proper care from the appropriate places.
You know, quite recent, I was invited to speak at a program, a Woman 360 program, and I was telling them that it's about maternal health, that I have learned through the standpoint, thankfully, and having you two especially on it, that when we're talking about maternal health, it starts way before you even think about getting even married, before you conceive and all that. It starts from there. How to take care of yourself, health-wise. Because I hear there's something now called what? Fertility check. You need to check your fertility level. Auntie Ness, principal.
Well, Gifty, you see, anytime we talk about sexual health, sex education, it comprises a lot of things. It's accepting your body as it is, not feeling shy that your breast is growing up, not feeling shy that you're having menstrual flow on monthly basis, because you accept that it is part of my nature as a woman. Menses or menstrual period simply means that your womb that was preparing to receive a sperm to be fertilized, to fertilize with your egg to produce a child, did not happen. So that menstrual flow is nothing dirty. It is just the body's hormonal response and making you feel that you are a woman. If we all agree that as women, we give birth to the next generation, which is a very important role, and you do it when you are mentally prepared, financially prepared for it, then there's nothing for anybody to feel shy about it. But again, as you are getting into the reproductive years and you are in a responsible relationship.
I like that.
And
responsible relationship.
Yes. And you have what it takes to take care of another mouth, to become responsible, then you must be conscious about what is happening to you. The concept that congenital malformations, for instance, where a woman would give birth and the child will have the neural defects. So it's advisable that if you are married and you're looking forward to having a child, you are supposed to take folic acid to get, you have to see your ONG practitioner or midwife, who will then advise you about your diets, going off alcohol if you are using it, stopping coffee and all the other stimulants that will not be in your best interest. Now, it is when you have access to all this information, then you can then go ahead and seek help and empower yourself to be able to be in charge of your own health. I always tell people that if we prepare ourselves as women, and here, let me go into the main domain a bit, because if a man is going to give a healthy sperm, which is also very important.
On that sperm route, let me take a break and come back, because you complete it, and then we'll also look at whether, as women, whether all our health concerns should be geared towards having children, or the other areas that, whether you want to have children or not, or whether you can or not, you still have to take it seriously. Well, this is the standpoint. Again, I say thank you to our supporters. Veraldo Pear Malt by Casapreco Company Limited. Very low on sugar. Go-Got yogurt. As a woman, I'm sure we'll talk about it. Yogurt, we'll talk about diet as well. So yogurt is very good for you. And if you're going for yogurt, go for Go-Got yogurt. Auntie Vera of House of Foods, thank you. I got my green shito. I'm so grateful. Thank you to Cake Techniques, Matter Mix. They give us the pot. Yep Cleaning Services takes care of our environment. La Fresh Fruits Juices. They do all the natural. The Sobolo de Asana, the fresh pineapple, orange, and whatever you want, they can do it for you. Whatever you are having, program you're having, just call them and they'll be there to support you. We take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Back again, say thank you to GTP for my cloth Ophelia Crossland design source for me, as always. Grateful to them. My hair is by Duffy's Hair. The makeup product is by Power Cosmetics and applied by Makeup and More. Let me come back to you.
So what I was actually saying is that it's not only the woman who needs to prepare herself. The man has to prepare himself as well, because it's going to take the two of them. The man producing a healthy sperm, we should be able to swim smartly and be the one to fertilize the egg.
Because I hear some are lazy swimmers and some are no swimmers at all.
I don't swim.
So in effect, when you have married and you are ready to have a child, it means that you would have to, for the sake of the well-being of that child, you have to forgo certain things, what we want to call unhealthy habits that may not help in that reproductive process, so that you can give birth to a healthy child that will be very, that will be a blessing, let me put it that way, to the generation. So that was the emphasis that I was making.
Okay, but Klebo, aside the preparation towards, childbirth and pregnancy and all that, what are some of the things you need to take care of as a woman for you yourself? I
would want to expand it to men as well.
Okay.
Because there are general checks that everybody needs to do.
Okay.
Those who have vehicles or who have cars, they service their vehicles regularly. Even if the vehicle is still driving, they still go to the mechanic to service it. The same way we should be able to service our bodies by submitting yourself to the appropriate places where they will check for everything that need to be checked. I mean, talk about blood, your urine, your stool, every part. I mean, also for a doctor to listen to your heart and all that. It's important. People are dying needlessly of late for causes that could have been preventable. So that when you get to the hospital, there are certain things that they can tell you to change in your lifestyle, or maybe add on, give you medication so that I can, you can prolong your life. Women especially, from where Sylvia left, it's important when you are giving life to another life, it's important that you are also healthy. So there are certain things that the woman especially will have to do. Especially a woman who has had, you said swimming of the sperms, right? A sperm had to swim to fertilize an egg, and you are now incubating for the period that you have to incubate. It's important that you go to the hospital. You have a minimum of 4 times to visit the hospital for them to check all the vitals, because you are going to give life to another life. So I think it's not that it's 4 times, it's the minimum. Some
of us, they made us go, pal.
No, it's the minimum I'm talking about. You can go about 20 times. For instance, when you go, they've checked the urine, and there's protein in the urine. The midwife will send your card to the doctor to advise you what to do. When you go, your blood pressure is now changing. They will tell. So it's important. If you go, everything is normal, then of course the 4 times will be adequate. If it's not normal, even the fetus is not growing well, then they will advise you on what to do. That's what I'm saying, a minimum of 4 times. Especially for the woman, because we are now talking about the woman. There are some women who do not have regular menses. For instance, you need to talk to your midwife or a doctor. I've always advised that every woman should have a midwife friend. It's quite important. And there are some who are bleeding in between their menstrual cycle. For instance, every 2 weeks they see blood. Some of the blood might not be menses. Some of the blood might be coming from area that we'll have to take care. I don't want to go about the cancer of the cervix here. That's not what we are discussing. It can be something else. Some of the bleeding can be due to some fibroid that has grown and is bleeding because of the way it's located. Some women even bleed after sex. So it's important that for a woman, you should be careful. Whatever goes on in your body, go to the hospital and let them examine. There are some who are having lumps in their breast. They think it's normal. Sometimes when you are having your menses or your what do they call it? The ovulation period, right? You have lumpy breast. That will go away after some time. But there are some lumps that are fixed, and some that's you do not understand. Let me put it this way. You go, let me properly be examined that I do not understand this. Normally, men should be able to detect from their wives. Because you like it or not, men like to go around that area and play with it. And sometimes, this time, there's something that I don't understand. Go check with your doctors. Sometimes the nipples will bleed or some discharges will come. These are all signs to tell you that let me go to a doctor and have this examined. You wouldn't believe that most women do not even know their menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
Because they say they are not having sex. You know, and some people become even pregnant without knowing they are pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the boys now have a way of telling them that I did not discharge in you. I removed it when before I pulled out. I pulled out. Yeah, that's it. There's something called brushing too.
Right. You know?
I don't know which brush is that. And I think that they use all those terms to deceive us.
Yeah.
And some people come to the hospital with all changes in their bodies, and they said, I've not had sex.
No.
So why are you pregnant? No, he brushed. So he didn't enter. That's what he told me. These are things to tell you that, you know, men will continue to use, abuse, and dump these girls to their fate. It's important that the women also understood their own bodies. You understand? And also people are using all sorts of chemicals into their vaginas because they think that men want it tight. And up to today, people are still using it.
Yeah.
Last time somebody mentioned
and not just people, educated people, well-educated women.
Actually, I'm talking about educated ones. Because I don't know if you are doing that to please a man. When we started this program, I said, it's your sexual reproductive right. It's your right, your right to your own womb, for heaven's sake. Your right to your own vagina, your right to any part of your body. Don't do that to please any man. If his state is inadequate to enter whatever, then it's his problem. You know, but because even before you have sex, you should be able to be prepared, well lubricated to allow anything to enter. Why do you want to, because of the man, put any chemical? You are not supposed to use anything there. You can wash with water. Ordinary water, and that's fair enough. So I think we are causing more harm to ourselves. And if we abide by these small tips, women's reproductive health or their health in general will be prolonged. Women's health is the health of the family.
Women's health is the health of the family. I expected an applause. And talking about health, I think we should move on to diet as well, because healthy diet also plays an important role.
We are what we eat. Sometimes when you ask people, why are you eating this? A person would go like, I'm hungry and I just want to satisfy that hunger. But anytime you decide to eat, remember from today that you are eating to be healthy. Because I've noticed that we eat anything anyhow.
Right.
Especially when the Lord blesses us small. We want to feed on gizzard. We want to eat sausages. We want to eat bacon. We want to eat minced meat and all the things that are so processed.
We are fancies, but we have changed.
You told me. Uncle able to confess.
Yes.
So
we have changed.
But you see, anytime we are eating too much protein, especially the red meat and the processed one, we are giving a lot of work to our organs in the body, and they are not supposed to be overworking all the time. And for people who are invited to a party, please don't think you're being smart. If you eat and eat and eat, you are killing yourself. Anytime you see yourself do that, you push some under the chair, put some in your bag, and do all kinds of things. Why should you be greedy? You know,
free, aren't they?
Well, if the food is free, know that it has health implication. And here, I want to speak to our mothers. I'm not saying it's only women who cook, but the amount of oil that we are using in the kitchen, we are killing our husbands indirectly. We are killing our children indirectly. And we are adding so much salt. Is it any wonder that we are getting the kind of situations that we are faced with? Nobody is saying don't eat, but eat sensibly. Maybe that is the word. Eat thinking that whatever you are eating has a direct
implication. To live, don't live to eat.
It has a direct implication on your health and the health of your family. Here, we should, when you say it, people will say, I wasn't brought up eating vegetables or fruits. And here, the fruits also, we have to eat them in moderation. And the vegetables is not a rule that you should always eat kenke with pepper. Eat kenke with kontomire stew. Eat kenke with garden egg and okra stew. with minimal oil.
Yeah.
Cut down on the wele and the crab and the shrimps and all those other things that we add to it. That increases the caloric value of the food. Because at the end of the day, the idea or the concept should be that you eat something that is filling, so you don't eat or snack in between. People have the tendency that after everything they must drink a bottle of Coke or a bottle of Fanta or some of the fizzy drinks, let me put it that way, which is loaded with a lot of sugar. So these things are readily available, the body would utilize it and you would feel you are full, but they're just empty calories. And when we finish all this, we go to sleep. We wake up. We don't exercise. So we just storing it. And in fact, whatever we eat that we haven't utilized will be stored as fat. That is how greedy fat is. I'm not saying fat is bad, but when we deliberately eat the things that are not healthy for us, they do not help us. And again, when we start seeing the butts increasing and the hips popping out, the internal organs themselves are also covered with fat. So they cannot function and function well. So all this will lead to type 1, type 2 diabetes. And now our children are not even being spared the sickness of diabetes.
You're watching The Standpoint. Let me say thank you to Walmart Africa and, of course, our supporters. Go-Got Yogurt. Veraldo Pear Malt Drink by Casapreco Company Limited, EcoSpa Mineral Water, Matames, who give us the port, Antivera House of Foods, Cake Technique, and Lalala Fresh Fruit Juices. We take a break. When we come back, we'll look at exercises, the role it plays, and then, of course, I'll go to the audience if they have any questions. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Standpoint. This program is also aired on ABN TV on Sky Channel 235, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada and Asia. Our website, www.thestandpoint.com, is powered by Dream Oval. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And then you can also watch this program anytime you want to have a review or you miss anything, just go to YouTube and watches. The Standpoint is our YouTube channel. Let me go straight to the audience.
I've heard all that you've talked about, but I would like to know that even though there are people who will take good care of their health, what they eat, they go for checkup, but then our farmers too are killing us. They plant with chemicals. You would think you are eating tomato, but what, like you cut a red tomato and then you see the inside is green. So what do you also say about that? And secondly, I've been to the hospital some few times and there's no occasion where a doctor will tell me that, okay, that's what is wrong with you, that's what you have. So what do you do about that?
Please, my question is to you, madam. You mentioned folic acid in your submission, and I want to know how important it is to the lady's reproductive health.
Okay.
Please, I want to find out if it's normal for fibroid to grow back after it has been operated on.
You are talking about if you have your monthly flow, it means that you are pregnant. If you don't have it, it means you are pregnant. But it could mean that you are not pregnant. Okay, but some women they'll be pregnant, but at the same time they'll get their menses. Is that something wrong or it's normal?
Okay, all right. So we start from the back. Who wants to said about the farmers killing us and the fact that when you go to the hospital, they will not tell you exactly what is wrong with you and what you need to do. So,
I'll start with that one, and I would like to go. Actually, lady, when you go to the hospitals, the doctors or the nurses or midwives are supposed to tell you what's wrong with you. Most often, we do not even ask. There's something called the patient's charter and responsibilities. Every doctor is supposed to have time with you to discuss your illnesses with you. And you are supposed to ask questions. Most often when you go to hospitals, they examine you, they ask how you're feeling, you tell them, they do all the tests when they can write prescription, and we don't ask questions. And the doctor will not waste time to tell you everything, but he's supposed to, because maybe when you leave, about 50 people are waiting for him. and the same person who has not eaten, the doctor, I'm talking, is also human. So if you don't ask questions, that's it, okay? But you are supposed to ask questions. He is supposed to tell you. Of course, some patients will come to the hospital so become too known. Doctor, I have malaria. Then why are you coming? Because you know your diagnosis, okay? So I think these are the things that will happen. But let me finish that one, and the rest will go to you, apart from yours. The one that the farmers are killing us. When we went on break, I was talking about the chemicals that we are using for in agric. Yeah. Some of them are good, some of them are terrible bad. The issue about
and galamsey, yeah.
The galamsey, they are using cyanide and mercury. It's not only in the water. In the water, of course, it's bad because the fishes are now taking it up. So if you eat from that, those rivers, and all our rivers are gone, you're going to have the diseases. Sometimes they go into the earth crust, and people are planting vegetables along the banks of these rivers. So we are killing ourselves, honestly. So I think that the fight against galamsey is not only because they are making the rivers brown and red, but we are also having a lot of health issues. There are a lot of kidney cases now in the hospitals. And I think that we should rethink and maybe intensify the campaign against the illegal mining. And even if we are going to mine, let's do that appropriately. So we do not maim people, okay?
Take the last, the lady who asked about that you said if you don't see your menses every month, it means that it's possible you're pregnant. But what about those who are pregnant but still have their menses?
Sometimes people call any blood from the vagina as menses. It's not. It might not be. You might be bleeding. You might be bleeding. What you have to go to the hospital to find out where the bleeding is coming from. Because when you are pregnant, you have sex anyway, right? And sometimes if the fibroid is located at a place that the penile shaft will rub against it, you can bleed. So it is abnormal to have bleeding when you are pregnant. But sometimes you can spot. But so when you see any type of blood anywhere, please report to your midwife. Let them properly examine you. They do a scan to tell you they are the fetus. Actually, it's not a child, it's a fetus. The fetus is growing well or it's not growing well. You understand? So it's important that we recognize that. But for women not having their menses regularly, some women have irregular menses. Maybe you can help me on that one. Yeah. Since that's your field.
Let me say that we are very unique individuals, and the hormones that we have in our bodies, when you are stressed, when you are tired, when you are anxious about anything, it affects your menstrual flow. When people are bereaved, they can tell you. In fact, people hear bad news and they can start bleeding.
Yeah.
Let us understand the mechanism of these hormones so that we can appreciate certain things better. Somebody asked why you should have your menses twice in a month. There are people who have 23-day cycle. Some even have 21-day cycle. 32, 30, 28. And the likes. You must know the cycle that you have, which then helps you to know whether your menses are regular or irregular. There are people who have a condition, it's quite a mouthful, the polycystic ovarian cysts. Yeah. They may even have their menses maybe once every 3 months or 6 months. That does not mean that you are pregnant. You are worried about pregnancy
just once a year.
When you are sexually active. When you are sexually active. So what you are not sure about, go to the trained healthcare providers to run the tests, counsel you, so you will know what is happening to you.
Okay. Folic acid.
Yes, the folic acid here, I can't go into the whole mechanism, but the birth neural defects, studies have shown that for people who give birth and you have hydrocephalus, spina bifida, sometimes people give birth and the flesh doesn't cover the whole back of the spine. It is not only folic acid that will help you against some of these things, but B12 and other things. So your greens, your kontomire, your gboma, your ademe, bokoboko, and all those other green things that you eat would help you to have a normal child. Because to have a deformed child and going through surgeries and appealing for funds and all those other problems, a lot of them can be prevented if the woman knows that I am preparing to get pregnant. I'm not saying go and buy folic acid and start taking.
No.
But if you are in the reproductive age, talk to your healthcare providers and they will advise you as to how much you should take and when you should take it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Have you answered all the questions? Oh, why it comes back?
Fibroid, that should say, is a growth in the womb. It can be, it depends on where it's located. It can be inside the womb, outside the womb, or in the muzzle of the womb. And it can be located at different places. And there can be different type of fibroids within the same womb. So you can have multiples of fibroid, okay? Maybe when the person went to hospital, they removed the big one. There are smaller ones that might also grow. You understand? Sometimes there are so many that the doctor now advises that let me take over the whole womb. Because where they are located, it might impede pregnancy or might bleed or can lead to other conditions. Okay? So when they have removed one, others that were small might also grow.
Yeah.
So it's important. That's why we emphasize that anytime that you see anything wrong like that, go have a scan and they'll advise you.
So in conclusion,
I would just want to say that for every woman, be very sensitive to your own body. God gave that body to you. You are the one in charge. So make sure you are taking good care of yourself. Try and exercise at least 3 times a week. Manage your stress level. If you feel overburdened about an issue, talk to somebody. But as a practicing Christian, the God factor for me always works.
Right.
When you pray and you study your Bible and you walk in love and in obedience, I believe very strongly that what you were created to be as a woman, you will fulfill destiny.
Amen to that. And
you want me to add to this?
You
want me to add to this? The only thing I can say that with all the beautiful things that she said, you own your own body. There's no man who has any control of your body. Your body is yours. When I started, I said there's so much masculinity over feminism that becomes so toxic. Now they call it toxic masculinity. We must fight it.
We must fight it. Okay. With all the health, Uncle, but do you know how to cook? Yes. Apart from water?
Hey, no,
apart from boiling water?
We're
fancy.
This time they don't allow me to cook, but I know how to cook.
Okay. I have a package from Walmart Africa for you. Yes. For the 2 of you.
Wow.
For you to start the year right. So you have a frying pan. You can bring it out, don't worry. You have a frying pan, you have a cooking pan.
Okay, it's all linked.
Frying pan, cooking pan.
Okay.
You have all the 3 types of the fortune rice. You have Frytol cooking oil, and then their new sunflower oil called Excella. And you have an apron too.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
What it means is that, okay. Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for coming to share your knowledge and everything.
This appreciated.
You're welcome. And then the first 3 people who got here, first 2 people who got here are also getting a package from Walmart Africa. Well, we take a break. When we come back, I give you a bit of me. Women's health. Okay, a little bit of confession. You know, in 2016, I think a few months after I got married, I told myself that I was going to take my health very, very seriously. So what I did was that in January, instead of my birthday, and anyway, my birthday is in some few days time, and I'm going to be 48 years, yes. I decided instead of buying something for myself, as I usually do, I was going to go to the hospital and have a thorough health check. I did. And guess what? They found out that there was a fibroid somewhere that was causing me so much problems. I had to go for a surgery for the fibroid to be removed. Now, when the fibroid was removed, my doctor looked at me straight and said, Gifty, your womb is fine. If you don't try for a baby, I'm going to be very upset with you because I really struggle to bring out that fibroid. And that's where I am today with a beautiful baby I love and cherish. She's my world. It's a miracle because look at how the process started. Women's health is so important. Our health is everything to us. A healthy woman is an empowered woman. Don't joke with your health. It is about you. Own your body. Own your health. Because you can't give what you don't have. When you're sick, everything at home is a total mess. Unfortunately, that's the truth. So please, my dear sisters, mothers, aunties, daughters, even as we save money, we get the money, we use it for things. Let us save money and use it to take care of ourselves. Yes, it may be expensive, but it is worth it. What is your worth if you are sick and you can't do anything? What is money when you are sick and the money can't pay for anything because your sickness can't be treated because you found out too late? Yes, I believe in God. I trust God. I know miracles still happen. But guess what? I also know and believe that God performs miracles through doctors, through health professionals, through nurses, through midwives. So even as we pray and believe in God, do not let us cancel out the importance of going to the health centers to get our bodies, our system checked. My name is Gifty Auntie. I have super crazy faith in God. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week and hold on to your faith. Bye for now.